at the fair last year?
No.
She's the chicken I take to the fair.
You ever notice how visiting the Cook Farm is a little bit like entering a Disney movie? So this is the video of a backpacking trip in the Mallard, Larkin roadless area that I did last weekend with Brad and Isaac. And as you can see right here, it ended up being more of a couple day hikes than backpacking trips. The snow was deep and widespread, and it was a lot of work hiking up there. And then we were scheduled for rain, which you'll see later. We also did get to see a couple bears, though, which was pretty cool. And Isaac got a great picture, which you'll see in a minute here. I didn't have my longer lens, so I couldn't get good video. But yeah, mama and an older cub, looks like. So we hiked up, and the snow was really slippery, and I kept slipping, and it was a little bit... There were lots of traversing the snowfields, as you see Isaac slipping right there. And the scheduled rain for the next day, we decided maybe it'd be better if we weren't up there trying to hike out on ice that had water on it. So we hiked back to the camper van after hiking around up there for the day, and spent the night, and then hiked in a different location. But one of the reasons we were up here was that Brad wanted to check out a route for the Scouts later in the year. And so there's a trail that goes from up where we are here, kind of kitty corner, cuts down through a valley. I think this is looking the other direction, not the valley that trail runs through. It's the Elmer Creek Trail. And I'm sure Brad told you about a couple of years ago when he walked that trail and it had not been...
Lake sits in there, Mud Lake. And then if you go over that next ridge is into Heart Lake.
And then something or other lake.
And then something or other lake, right, and then Mallard Lake.
Anyway, he was hiking out to check to see if they could take it, and it was really, really bad. Like, he couldn't find the trail. But there's been a lot of trail work done since that time. So Isaac and Brad actually went down from the top a little ways and saw that there had been some work done, but there was a lot of snow on the trail. So instead,
they work.
We dropped our packs and did a little day hike. So we ended up coming out and driving to this other trailhead where we could do a day hike in the next day in the rain. And we're going to get to that point now. So this morning, the second day, we started hiking up, and it started raining almost immediately as we started hiking, and it rained the entire time. And we went about 5 miles and about 2,500 feet of elevation gain, and there was lots of this, lots of blowdown, lots of trees across the trail, picking our way. The water crossings were all high, and there was really one that was a little bit dicey, but the rest were fine. Actually, I've got footage of us crossing back over on the dicey one, and it actually wasn't that bad. It's just the consequences if you slipped were pretty bad. So yeah, it was a great hike both days. But I got home and my calves were super sore. I think a lot from walking on the snow because you have that lack of stability. But also climbing over all the debris on the trail on the second day here. Actually, we're going to, here in a second, we're going to listen to a bird that we heard while we were in this cedar grove. Cedar Grove was amazing, by the way. It's just, the trees are massive. Yeah. Look at the scale of that. Here comes Brad.
I know.
It's hard to imagine how big this is. I'm a big guy, and it makes me look tiny.
It does.
Wow.
It is. I think it is that same one.
We need Miss Leaper here.
Oh, yeah.
She's got a little app on her phone that'll listen to bird sounds.
Yeah, so I don't know what that bird was, but it was loud and quite distinctive as well. So yeah, it was very, very beautiful, atmospheric, I guess would be the word. We were soaking wet, and it actually was pretty cool. It was probably in the high 30s, maybe low 40s, and walking up was fine. I was hot the whole time walking up, but we got to the top. So what we did was we actually hiked up this fairly narrow valley for it was like 3.5 miles, and eventually we reached a crossing of Elmer Creek, and we couldn't tell where the trail went. And at that point, we'd done 2,500 feet of elevation gain. Isaac had been working hard to clear the trail, as you can see. and so we stopped and went back. This is just a minor crossing that we did. But let me see here. We're going to get to the point where we stopped and went back here in a second. This is it. So I think this is Elmer Creek, and there's no trail on the other side. It just kind of ends there. So essentially what we discovered was it might not be a great place to take the kids. Actually, I should take that back. Brad still might want to take the kids. So we stopped at the top, ate some food, got chilly, and then put on some warmth and walked back down, and put on some extra layers and walked back down. And the walk back down took, I don't know, 2.5 hours or something. Whereas the walk up took 3.5, something like that. It's just obviously easier going down. So kind of at the mouth of this canyon, or of this drainage, this was the dicey crossing here. And you can't really see, but on the far side there, the water's coming over the tree, and it's not that bad going back, because you jump and then can kind of get to the shore, but jumping over that coming this way was a little dicey because we weren't sure what our footing would be like. But yeah, and actually I didn't show the rapids downstream from this, but if you fell in upstream, you're likely to get trapped underneath that log, and if you fell in downstream, you were going to get worked over pretty bad by the rocks. So exciting as it was. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. We had a great trip. A lot of fun. Wasn't what I expected, but still awesome and just great to get out.